What's going on, guys? So today on this SHOKY Transformers review, we're going to be taking a look at another jet that transforms into a robot. This one. But actually, he's only going to kind of be on the side because really we're going to be looking at this one. Look at him. Holy crap, look at him. It's awesome. Alright guys, so this has been some time coming, and if you're following me on the second channel, you guys have already seen my out-of-the-box reaction to this guy, and it is of course the new Transformers War for Cybertron Siege Commander Class Jetfire. Now, like I said, I already did the out-of-the-box reaction, which kind of covered a lot of the stuff already, but I know not everybody on this channel saw that. So this is actually going to be on the main channel only because he is such a big figure. He deserves a little bit more of a spotlight. So let's look at the box real quick. Of course, you have some really tremendous artwork here of Jetfire in his kind of G1-ish toy form, which of course was based off of the Valkyrie from Robotech and or other things, depending on which license it came from. But that's just a cool add-on. Of course, he's holding guns. He's got things all over the place. You've got Tetrajets flying up here. You have Cybertron in the background. You got some explosions. And you have an Omega Supreme down there, which, I can't wait till that big boy comes in. So you rotate this way. Nice shot of the arc right there. Slightly depressed we're not getting any kind of arc figure or toy. He does have a hidden code. It's right there. I'm sure somebody's looked it up. You got Commander Class, Classe Commandant, Clase Commandante, Classe Commander. Oh, and if you come over here, you got everybody who's already on the list, so it's fine. And from there, oh dear Lord, you've got him in this robot mode. You got him there in regular, cartoon mode. All the stuff in the box, including some cool fire stuff and jet form. You got 36 modes there. Combat weapons. It's actually hard to see because I'm looking through the camera here. It's like he goes from here to here to here to here to here to there. He's not technically a triple changer, but he just has 3 forms, so to speak. So that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and get him out here. This is gonna be hard because space. And yeah, he was almost the size of this box. So let's go. Alright guys, here we have Mr. Jetfire in his awesome G1 cartoon jet mode. His big old Cybertronian jet. And looking pretty much how he did when they kind of pulled him out of the ice. After thousands of years. Perhaps millions. Either way, so it looks pretty cool. You got him mostly here in white with some red, and you got some like dark gunmetal-y gray colors, which you guys know I'm a fan of. You got some cool vents going on here. You got this nice blue part here. You got some cool landing gear up underneath him. Everybody likes landing gear, right? And come down inside of jet mode, and you just see where he transitions from white to off-white. Yeah, that's how they weathered him. They just kind of sprayed some not quite white on there. I think they were intending on doing more, and that was like a base coat. So if you've got him, let me know if yours is just that same way. You've got the big old thrusters hanging out back here. You got some not feet. Those are not feet, guys. Not feet. With some nice white paint and other things like that. Looks pretty cool. I digs it. And you got the blue part up here. You got the everything like that. Nice wingspan. Look at that. It's got a big old wingspan. It's got some paint here that's not quite great, but it's not easy to paint anything over white or white over anything, if we're honest. Let's just be honest here. But he's pretty cool, and you can see right here, he does come in his Decepticon form, sort of, so that he can fly around with his little buddy, Starscream. I like Starscream with this. Looks good. And you can see, like, when he gets tired, he can just ride up top with his buddy. Just like that. Ain't that cool, y'all? It's cool, y'all. until Starscream betrays him, and he decides that he wants to change and now be an Autobot. And if I remember correctly in the show, he just literally like grabs it, switches it out for an actual symbol. I like that they included that because he did play both sides. He was a Decepticon and then became an Autobot by choice. He was the first one that did that. And of course, in the Bay movies, they copied that as well. But he was named Skyfire instead. And you can see the jet thingies, the fins and stuff do that as well. Now in this mode, he's got a few things he can do, and I'm going to go over that before we get to like accessories and stuff. So one thing that's pretty neat, you do have the landing gear. You can tuck that away, very nice. It does roll, by the way, and it's just not going to roll around. And he does have these handles that can fold down. I'm going to tilt the camera up, give myself some more room to work here. And if you come back here to the not side skirts, those are not side skirts, guys. And you push it until it clicks like so, and you flip that handle out. And you can do the same thing on that side. And you know, I've said that they're handles, so they must be for something to hold on to. And it is. It is for friends. Friends can now come in here and hang on tight. Like so. Or, if you prefer, an even bigger bot can come in and hang on back there. So you can attach at least 4, though I would probably suggest doing some deluxes if I had to guess, or some, yeah, because this is a deluxe, he's a Voyager. In theory, you could slap a leader class back there if you really want to, but he's going to be pretty big. But that gives you a sense of scale, which makes no sense because realistically he's big enough for normal-sized bots to fly in to, you know, get around like you do. He's often used that way in the show, a lot like our good friend Skylynx. Now another thing you can do that is not on any instructions, but I'll show it. So this is not in the instructions, but say you have somebody from the good old Power of the Primes line, like that, like good old Perceptor here. We'll set his main body to the back, and you have, well, maybe not Power of the Primes, but Titan Master. So Titan's Return. So you have a little Titan Master, or a Headmaster, as it were. So we'll just use him as an example. They wanted you to be able to have the playability even with this line. So you come up here, you flip the nose down, you can open that, and you've got this cool like brain section in here, like, and I'm gonna be honest, it's sometimes not easy to remove, but it is just sort of friction in there. It does have a peg hole back here for some strange reason, but if you can see, it's got a nicely molded cockpit in there, and it's just the right size for a little guy like that to fit in. And no, you can't fit like any of the Battle Masters or anybody in there, but you can close them up and fit it in there. So you can actually have somebody piloting him. Not that he needs that, but you can. It's actually a neat thing that you can do. And I'm going to leave that out just for the time being. Now, he does actually have other playability along that same exact line. If you come back here to the back section, you pop this guy open. It gets scuffed up. What happened there? Okay. Oh, I forgot it's pegged in back here. Ow! That hurt. Okay, so this will kind of give away some of his transformation sequence here, but you know, you gotta have access to this to make that happen. I really want to file down those pegs, if I'm honest. Like, they're just too in there. Here, let me make my life easy. So, ignore that I just did that. So, if you push down on the windshield, it's kind of a release. But if you have this, let's move these out the way just for a second. Ignore what those are. And you kind of flip that back. You can see there's a couple seats back there. And you can, in fact, throw a couple of them in there. So you do get playability with the previous line, even though they're not directly connected anymore. So that's pretty cool in my book. Actually, it was Thomas Rice who let me know about that. I didn't realize it because I couldn't, even when I opened it, I couldn't get any of that to happen. So it didn't matter. But the front part up there, I could tell that the bit was supposed to come out. I just couldn't figure out how. It was just really stuck. And we're getting a little bit of a teaser here for the Taro. Let's get Tafo. It'd be a transform and fly out, kind of. There we go. So let me tuck these away just real quick, just because it's going to annoy me otherwise. And I also don't want to accidentally like break those off. Now this is where his accessories that he does come with kind of come into play. You get all of this. You get what I call his battle shield. I'm going to adjust things real quick. Okay, so you get all of this with all of the freaking guns and some missiles and stuff, and there's just a big peg down here, which is clearly the handle of a gun, and you just flop that on there, and make sure you bump the camera when you do it. If you don't bump the camera, it doesn't count. And yes, you have to have a camera out if you're going to play with this toy. So that's pretty neat. And of course, he comes with effects that you can obviously just cram back here into his boosters. Those are neat. They are actually shaded. That's pretty cool. I'm assuming it's multi-layer injection, just darker at one end than the other. And because they're multi-layer, you can actually break them down. This one, in fact, I did have to add a little bit of super glue too, just to thicken it up because it was so loose it wasn't holding in any of the holes. It would actually just kind of fall out. And because he does have guns, you can always add some gun effects, like so. That looks a little funny. It actually just looks like flames. But if you, say, add them to this part, this is always good. You can be like pew pew, pew pew. That actually looks really cool. I dig that. But then you're stuck with these strange orange bushes. But these all have holes and pegs at the same time, so if you have a little peg sticking off the body, such as that, you can plug it in somewhere, or even like over here, if you're the one has fire coming off the side of him. Either way, you can do all of the above. That kind of hurt my fingers, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so I know you guys hate it, but it's been 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break. Hopefully there will be a commercial there. I know sometimes it doesn't like to have commercials. So be right back. Alright, so this is going to be a heck of a transformation sequence, guys, but it's entirely doable. You should know that. I'm going to kind of go through it, and then partially in the middle of it, when I get down to the part of it, I'm just going to do the spiel for Patreon and all that stuff. So we're going to come over here to the wings, go ahead and flip away the flaps. I'm going to flip that up under there. You guys saw all that. And there's tab, there's slot, just rotate that over, tuck that away. We ain't ready for that yet, come on. And everything is sort of on pins. Some places they're obviously meant to give a little bit more than others, so if you screw it up, it won't hurt anybody too bad. Go ahead and unconnect that, pull it up here, make it click, pull that, make it click. Now I'm going to go ahead and transform the backpack and make it a little bit easier to get all that undone. You already saw that it was a pain, so if you push that down, that'll help you get the space you need to do all that. And one way you sort of saw that it was transformed earlier, sort of shortcuts it a little from what the instructions tell you, and does actually help. Now this isn't wanting to sit totally flat. It's kind of dumb. You can do whatever you need to with these. Now we want to come down here to what are obviously going to be the legs. Do what we did earlier. This will just kind of combiner wars out, tuck itself in there, do the same thing on that side. It's just a couple slots line up right inside there. Come around to the back where the thruster ends, and you can see a double hinge right there. You got a couple tabs that'll line up over there. Just tuck this guy away. Accordion, all your tabs where they need to go. That'll do that. Do the same thing on this side. You know, considering the size of this guy, he does have a very simple transformation. Come down to the foot, go ahead and flip out the toesy, get a thumb under here, flip out the heel spur. You got a hole in the bottom there. I'm just glad this guy's not super heavy, or else this would be kind of difficult. Now there you've got him in a standing jet form. Come up here to the top where I don't have as much lighting. I have to rotate some lights around. There we go. And we grab these right here. Not this. Don't grab this, even though I pointed at that. So you want to grab these guys and they'll untab. You see the little tabs there. This, when we get around to transforming him back to jet mode for the Taro video, those are incredibly annoying. So just kind of fold these up and out the way, more or less, about as good as you can get them. And then actually you can move that out. Grab here, it is pegged in on the back side. Just unpeg it like so. You'll hear a ratchet if you do it that way. And alright guys, so this is of course the part of the review where I go ahead and start rambling about Patreon and supporting the channel. So if you guys do want to help support the channel, please kick the camera. You don't have to, but you know, if you choose to, by all means, kick the camera. But at least once a month or so, usually the beginning of the month, people like Thomas Rice, Deal Angel John, and Megan Summer do help support the channel and donate a little bit of money to do so. Now if you want to do that, of course, you can always check out the Patreon right here on the screen. And of course, if you want to do something else instead of a monthly gig, if you just want to get some Shoky gear but still contribute in some way, of course, we have plenty of Shoky shirts and other merchandise and stickers and things like that. The links are always in the description down below. Now guys, of course, if you are unaware, by all means, go check out the secondary channel where I'm looking at other things, such as this guy right here, the Magna Defender. He'll be coming up, if he hasn't come out already, with a out-of-the-box reaction review. And of course, this would normally be on the secondary channel, but because this is a much bigger type of review, I decided to go ahead and do it here. But if you like figures, if you like all the other fun stuff that I've done over the years that's not model related, by all means, go check out the second channel. It's all down there. And in fact, if you're signing up for Patreon, it is actually really more or less making up for the fact that that channel is not monetized. So every little bit will go to help support either side. And of course, I have more Transformers reviews coming. I've got some much smaller guys over here, and hopefully by the end of the month, I will have a much larger guy coming in, thanks to at least YouTube. Hopefully, getting my YouTube payment will allow me to get Omega Supreme. But guys, check out all the things by all means, and of course, thanks to my Patreoners who do support the channel every month. So the transformation is almost done. So let's roll back to that right about. That'll happen. And there we have Mr. Jetfire in robot mode, and he looks beautiful. Look at that thing, all the primary colors. If you guys have ever seen the movie Robot Jox, this looks a lot like the main robot, especially like the round shoulders and stuff like that. Which, by the way, go watch Robot Jox. It's a terrible, terrible movie, but it's awesome at the same time. And just for a sense of scale, there's Wally, way down there. Here, let me... Yeah. So that's how tall Wally is in comparison. And if we bring in Voyager Springer, who he kind of should have been out with at the same time, but he ran behind for some reason. I don't know why. You can see he's literally only up to his legs. And we'll bring out Ironhide, who's obviously just a little bit shorter than Springer, being a deluxe. Like so. So there he is with some Autobot buddies. Last but not least, there's his buddy Starscream, who is much shorter. Much, much shorter. Okay, so let's come back up here. And I'm going to do that thing where I zoom in on the face and stuff. So, I love the head. I love the head sculpt. It's beautiful, beautiful silver face. You can just see here all of that head work, so to speak. The blue paint is kind of sloppily applied. And the funny thing is, he does have light piping, but they didn't leave anything open for the pipe. So even the back here that is sort of clear is not light piped. Like, I should have left like just top of the head. So maybe he'll get an LED one day. I don't know. I like all the line work they got going on here. He looks a little busy. He looks almost like a perfect grade Gundam in that aspect. He's pretty much perfect grade Gundam size, if I'm honest. Just got all this nice line work and details. You got all the pegs like everywhere. The only thing that gets a little bit weird is when they change up plastic for here on the shoulders, and it just looks crappier. So you can see the difference between this plastic and that plastic. It's unfinished. Like, this has a nice surface. This doesn't. You can even feel the difference. It's just not happy. And I don't know if they just put that there because that's going to be a part that gets beat up because it is soft-ish. I don't know. But the head does kind of rock back and forth. He has a hinge and a rotator point there, so that's good. Oh, by the way the head goes away, it's just this nice springy bit back here. I like that. That's fun. The shoulders do have a ratchet joint right there, though of course when you're going down you gotta be careful. You can rotate, but the wings get in the way, but it's not bad. Bicep rotation just above the elbow. Double jointed elbow, as we've already seen. I'm not really gonna mess with it because it's gonna be out of the thing. No waist articulation, so to speak, as his whole body, or to speak of, I should say, his whole body is just jacked up. But you can see there, I like how the handles just make out a little bit of detail for him there. There's his Autobot slash Decepticon logo, as usual. You come down to his weathered thighs. I don't know why. The slightly light gray thighs. I think I'm going to do some weathering on him. Just because, I swear to God, it's like they primed it and didn't weather it. I don't understand. It's freaking weird, in my opinion. But it's not really weathered, it just looks dark. And I think that's kind of a failing there. But he does have ratchets going back, and of course, that way he does have thigh rotation. However, you can get him into a Jean-Claude kick, but there's no ratchet there. I feel like it needed to be ratcheted that way as well, because if he's on a smooth surface, like obviously the fabric here is not super smooth, his feet do want to slide out from under him. I've had it happen on the table, and he nearly did a faceplant if I didn't catch him. He does have a big, chunky, single-jointed knee, good for 90 degrees. That's nice. I can live with that, to be honest. And then the ankle does actually tilt, but you have to do kind of like Springer did, and just kind of... Not Springer. Who was it? Somebody... Oh, Jesus. Megatron. Megatron had ankles just like this. So it's a super stiff joint here, which is great, but the tab that holds it in is scary tight. Now he does have 5mm holes here, if you wanted to plug something onto him, I don't know. And he does have the toe point and the heel, so even if you wanted to get him in a stepping pose, you could kind of do it. Just sort of use those heels to your advantage, something like that. It works. Not gonna lie, it works. And the ankle tilt is just enough to give him a decent A stance when he's just chilling out. Like so. There's definitely nothing wrong with that. Okay, so we've got accessories to look at as well. So we have the entire battle shield, as I call it. And of course, this completely comes apart. So, blank, blank, blank. I said blank, thank you. Blank, come on. There we go. And yoink. So we get left with this cool chest piece. And of course, this should be for his fake G1 toy mode, which we'll cover near the end. I want to go over all the weapons and stuff first. So we've got these cool arm shield guns. So he does have a peg there that he could technically hold, but they are mostly meant to plug onto his forearms, like so. But you can definitely plug into any hole if he needs to. I think he can hold it. Maybe not. Also, I like to plug them down here, like for reserve. if you need to. Like, he's not quite using it. But let's just put them on the forearms for now, shall we? I think we shall. Looks pretty good. And you do get these little missile pods like this that do come apart like so. Now these are interesting in the way you use them. So I mean, he can hold them like you should, kind of. Yeah, so he can hold that, that's fine. Can plug it onto his leg. I think, technically speaking, there's a hole right here. Yeah, so you can plug that on there. But these are for making him go into his G1-ish mode. So if you come back here to the wings, you sort of saw this earlier. Kind of roll this out. And you've got a little red peg that pops out from the hinge, which is cool. I like the way they did that. And you take these shorter missiles and you plug those onto the wings like so. And for those who did see the out of the box review, this part was confusing because it comes mistransformed out of the box. So this part is not in the right position. And by the way, this is all painted, and I think this got scraped or something. That's why I think there's a little black mark there. So you take the hole that's there and the not quite pegs here and plug it on. So he's like that. I want to point something out while I'm here because I missed it when I was going around. He's got Metroplex legs. Look at that. Those are totally off of Metroplex. Not literally, but you guys, if you've seen the Titans Return Metroplex, you should know what I'm talking about. Next up, we have his twin cannons of doom and death and destruction. Look nice. Molded in gray here, painted gunmetal here. Actually has some of the crappy washing or the crappy dirtiness there. Or somebody got really happy with the paint because it's only in that one spot. He does have one big handle that we used before. It plugs into the hand, hopefully. Come on. Like that. And he can be very threatening when he wants to. The other thing is, good lord, pull these apart like the Buster Cannon from a Gundam Wing, which is pretty neat. And this one carries the main handle, but you can flip it down and produce a smaller handle. And you come over to the other hand and grab a handle there, and now he can twin wield these, which I like to do. I think it's neat. It gives him a little bit more evenness in his weapon holding. Now there's a cool thing about his hands. I want to point it out right here. Come down and zoom in on the hands. So you can see there is a port there for holding the guns. It didn't make it just a circle like everybody else, but this is neat. You can, in fact, move the fingers, and you guys saw that right there. The actual hole rocks back. That is some of the coolest engineering Hasbro has done in a very long time. So when the hand is closed, he holds the gun. Like, that is awesome. And I feel like they stole that engineering from somebody else, if I'm honest. I think some of the combiners had something similar, but like not like the crappy like foot handguns that had the thumb hole in the thumb. I thought that was stupid. Okay, so we need to complete his G1 conversion here. So you've got these little flaps right here. Now, these aren't technically necessary because the first time I did it, I didn't even remember them. But you want to flip those out and then take your chest shield here, push on this little piece from the back, which kicks open this hinge, and that's where you store the faceplate, which is pretty neat. I like how they did that. Now you've got slots, can't really see it, slots right there, and then, well, while you have pegs, they don't really do anything, if I'm totally honest. But I believe this hole right here lines up to that hole there, which will help you transform him, which is always fun and good. Does he actually have... Oh, okay, I lied. He does have waist rotation. It's just so minor. Look at this. I was wrong. This is the first time legit knowing he has waist rotation. And I flipped that closed by accident, so let's flip that back. Now, I was just noticing the cut. I'm like, does he really actually have waist rotation? I'm dumb. And you just sort of line this guy up as best you can with the slots and the holes and the holes and the slots. And just push it on. And there you go. Now he's got a big buff chest armor. Kind of looks like a bulletproof vest, if I'm honest. Let's go up just a little higher, and we take the faceplate, which is self-explanatory. It's all blue plastic, painted white, and you've got a thing there that plugs right into the front of his face that has a spring-loaded part, and boosh. There you go. That actually works better because the whole thing is light piped, and you can sort of see the eyes through it, but that's cool. It's very, very emotive of or evocative, I guess, of the original G1 form of the toy. Looks really cool. I'm not actually going to use him this way, but I dig it. Now there's one other thing that I do like to do with him, because you can sort of play around with the weapons. I like to turn this into a Gundam style, like, battle shield, where he can have all of his guns mounted to it. Let's use the shoulder armor to its abilities. Come on, ankle rockers, work with me. This is where those ankles are really wonky. I kind of wish he had a sword, if I'm honest. He doesn't need one, but I kind of wish he had one. So that's pretty cool. Alright guys, so final thoughts wise, this guy is awesome. It's definitely one of the coolest things I have bought all year. Definitely one of my favorite Transformers. I love all the effects he comes with, the extra parts, the ability to make him look G1-esque, you know, even including the faceplate that, you know, it's just painted, but, you know, it is what it is. I like these effects. These are really neat. The playability with, you know, some Titan Masters if you really want to, or Prime Masters. Anything of that size will fit in there. Unfortunately, the Battle Masters and stuff like that won't. They're definitely not sized for that. And if you do some kind of trickery here, you can get him to hold Starscream up by his ankles, which you guys probably saw in the thumbnail. But this is awesome. He's huge. I love it. And I kind of hope we get some more Commander class stuff. I don't know who else would be in his size class. But I guess the next big boy to come out will be Omega Supreme. I'm really looking forward to that one. That'll be my first Titan class. I love that particular Transformer. So it is what it is. But guys, if you like this video, if you love this Transformer, give me a big old thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Of course, if you want to help support the channel, like Thomas, Megan, and John do, you can check out the Patreon. Or if you just want to get some stuff, you got the SHOKY merch store. As always, you can go check those things out. But guys, I will catch you on that next review. Remember, as always, to keep on nerding.